up, everybody? Welcome to the No Nonsense live stream. It's Yaga. Let's make sure this is working, like always. Make sure this is working. Yeah, it's working. Yay. Okay, how we doing? Everybody good? You have a good week? Life is wonderful. Every day is awesome. It can be, even in the challenging times. Today, title of this video is A Man of Principles. And I'll talk a lot about, the principles that I have decided to live by that work for me, that I have found is a much easier, realistic way of life, but we'll get into it. What does it mean to have a principle? Well, the definition of principle is a proposition or a value that is a guide for behavior or evaluation, which is true. If you have a set of several principles that you live by, you literally can deal with everything else in life if you just adhere to the rules or principles that you have acquired for yourself. Which seems easy, but if you're like me, I grew up with a religious background and Catholic. A lot of people I know do from where I'm from. And I did the whole Catholic thing. I went to Catholic school. I was, Jesus, the stories, confirmed, First Communion, all that. Attended church semi-regularly when we were kids. But the whole time, I never felt spiritual or really got what people were saying. It's like all these things I heard I needed to live by, like, tell the truth, don't lie, be good to your neighbor, things like that. It was there, but I hated the institution of church. So later in life, I had to go make a bunch of piss poor decisions and dive into some alcoholism and things like that. But by doing that, learn to take responsibility for my words, my actions, my behaviors, my decisions, tell the truth, don't lie, which is my first principle, honesty and truth. They're pretty much the same, but you have to be honest, which will get you to the truth, meaning no matter what, be honest about however you feel at whatever point in time it is, regardless of others' feelings. And a lot of people have a problem with that because, well, you shouldn't be honest because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. You want to save them from some pain. At what cost, really, And I get that because a lot of people, we're brought up to kind of tell like white lies, right? Oh, hey, don't say this to so-and-so because they're going to get upset. We don't want to get them upset and it's going to hurt their feelings. And I've realized you do more damage long-term by protecting people from the initial pain of what you may say or do by being honest than that initial short-term suffering that you need to go through to get you to the next level. What I'm trying to say is hurt people's feelings if you have to, because in the long run, it's going to be better off for them and everyone else because you're honest. Just be honest with yourself, especially. This is the principle that I hold as my number one principle, which is honesty, especially with myself. Honest about how I feel, honest about if I'm asked a question, honest, I'll give you an honest answer, honest about, do you want to go do this? And you just go, no, I think it's stupid. Whatever it is, I'm honest. Do you think the sports are, no, it's stupid. I think so. I hate sports, whatever. But do what you want, get distracted from reality all you can, but it's okay. Everybody's got to have something, right? Honesty is the number one principle that I live by because it'll get you to the truth. And if you are honest, it doesn't matter if the rest of the people are lying. Like, I can detect fucking bullshit or liars straight up. Like, I like it. Like, it makes me go, okay. Like, someone's lying. And I saw a poll on Facebook today from the Happy Corner podcast, which is a pretty cool podcast of comedians. And I've been on this podcast, and the KB and Amy are lovely ladies. And, they're funny as hell. And they asked, would you rather call somebody out on the lie, or do you just let them lie? It's kind of everybody always wants to pick an answer that's easy, right? Well, I'm totally call them out. You want to call people out on their bullshit. Or do you let them lie and just sit with it? I like to dig into things a little bit deeper than that. If people are going to lie, they are in their own hell that they have created for whatever reason, and they're probably lying because of fear of a lot of different things. And this is the fears that I used to lie about. One, I wanted to sound better than I actually was, so I would lie and tell people, like, do you like this? Of course I do. Never had anything to do with it, just so I can get that person's social approval. We've all done that. Oh, do you want to watch this romantic comedy with me? I'm like, of course I do, babe. I have no fucking desire to. I mean, stuff like that. They'll seem like innocent lies, but they're not. You have to be honest, because one thing I've learned in life is time is the most valuable currency that you have, and you can't waste it by protecting somebody else's feelings from truth. The truth comes out one way or another. Those people that you think are getting ahead by lying and scheming and all this shit, and you're, comparing your life to theirs because how do they always get so successful, the salesmen and all that? Something will come and bite them in the ass for those lies one day. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not even be in a couple of years. It will happen. I've seen it happen. Be honest. Like George Carlin says, tell the truth. Don't bullshit people. There's enough bullshit as it is. And he's right. And I agree. Don't bullshit people. And when people bullshit me, and to go back to that podcast question, do you call people out or do you let them lie? I let them lie, because it's not up to me whether these people are going to, I'm not going to sway them either way if I call them out. Unless it's something that's directly affecting me. Then if it's a lie about me, I'll call it out. Like, say what you want about me. I don't care. If it's true, I'll be like, okay. But if it's bullshit and I hear about it, yeah, I'll call you out. Because it's bullshit. But since I'm always honest and telling the truth, I really don't have a lot to worry about. See, that's why, for me, the principle of honesty is the easiest way to live, because if you are honest, you can't expect other people to be honest with you. And I know, myself included, have been disappointed when people lie to me or dishonest, deceiving, manipulative, and we deal with it on a day-to-day basis. It's okay. We're being lied to 24/7. And it hurts when it's especially people close in our lives, because what does that do? It breaks trust, right? Now I can't trust you. Now I'm questioning everything that comes out of your mouth. Is this true or is this bullshit? And that's not a good way to live in the paranoia. So what I've discovered is, if you are honest, you tell the truth, other people who suffer from that, they'll hate you for it, but they'll respect you and love you for it at the same time. And if you lead by the example of honesty, you'll find other people that do the same. They're out there. Believe it or not everybody is a shady son of a bitch. We're all human beings with flaws and characters. We make mistakes, absolutely. But I, myself, I can take truth to me if it's honest about something. It won't hurt my feelings. What I don't like is people telling me what they think I want to hear. I love honesty. I welcome it all day, because at least I can, we can go from there if you're being honest about something. If you're just like, it doesn't bother me at all, and it's truly bothering you, then that's on you. That's your responsibility. You need to do something about that. That's why I have no fucks given for people who can't be honest and tell the truth. Like, I get it, because I've been there too, but it's a practice. It's something you have to implement daily. Even if the first reaction, the first thought you have to do is you want to lie about it because you're scared, because that's where it comes from. Fear of, is this person going to be approved of what I'm saying? Are they not going to like me? Are they all kinds of shit? You have to learn to accept the fact that not everybody's going to like what you say or do. because you're not here to please everybody. People are going to love it. They're going to hate you for it too. Accept that, but be honest about it, Always honesty leads to truth, and you'll be okay. That's my number one principle, is always be honest. I was sitting here thinking last night when you got this blah, blah, whatever it is, whatever situation in life, work, relationships, out in public. And there's some people, that you drop the $10. Hey, you drop this, that everything. Everything is connected one way or another. Whether you think it is or not, that person who's lying to you today, something will happen to them where they will atone for that. I'm really big into atonement. I believe, and I'm not religious, but I do believe one way or another, you're going to atone for all the fucking mistakes you've made, and all the harm you've caused. You're either going to learn what it feels like to be that, or, you're just going to rot in your own living hell. I think so. Am I right or wrong? I don't know. But honesty, 100% of the time. But even if think about this. Would you want, as painful as it is, let's say you're in a relationship and wouldn't you want your wife to be honest if she was cheating on you? You found something out, just be honest. Even though you're like that, you get so emotionally charged because why? You're betrayed, your trust is gone. It hurts your pride, all kinds of factors, right? It really fucks with your head. But there's a reason behind that cheating. It's not for nothing. You know what I mean? You have to dig deep into the reasons of why these lies are coming to be. And I've noticed honesty is a good way to get into that. If you are honest with yourself, you'll know what your motives are. You'll know why you're doing stuff. You're not lying to yourself oh, I'm just going to coffee with Billy because Billy is my friend. Don't be naive. He's trying to fuck you. Be honest, okay? One way, that's an easy way. That's why I try to tell people with relationships, which brings me to my next point, which is faithfulness. That's another principle that I live by. Regardless of the relationship I'm in or what state it's in, I am faithful to the person I'm with. It's a hard choice. It's a decision. It's a conscious daily effort to do. Today's world has really made it, or at least it tried to make it okay to just everybody to run amok and fuck whatever they want and fuck with long-term relationships, growing with somebody, getting through ups and downs, trials and tribulations of life. God forbid they bond and actually make it past a year or two. That's not special. Let's just have the fucks on Tinder, just because we can't deal with a problem. Long-term faithfulness is what gets you to those 40, 50, 60-year marriages where people are giving your life to another person is an ultimate act of selflessness, right? I'm willing to help you and you help me because it is easy. You don't have to be with a person. We don't have to be married. We don't have to be in any long-term relationship, really. We can just fuck whatever we want going on. But there's something in the long run that's easier the longer you've been with somebody than the short term. Faithfulness will give you that. Meaning, in this day and age, I'm just gonna get coffee with Tom. Tom he was my friend in high school. He never tried to fuck you. It's come on. Well, there was that time he declared his love to me. And you're look, when it comes to opposite sex, I personally think it's not good when a man and a woman who are both in relationships are out to coffee together. There's no reason for that. What you're doing is literally opening a door to a potential temptation that you might fucking take just because your state of mind sucks one day, right? Because you're not willing to be honest with your partner about what it is you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you need, what you think you need. You're just not, the lines of communication somewhere were hung up. And if you open the door by just a coffee with somebody, which seems harmless on the surface, but it's so much more than that, people. Trust me on this. Because one or the other of those people are not on the same page at all. I used to be able to go out with women and just think, yeah, we're just going for coffee. Turns out I was fucking with their emotions, thinking this guy's a potential mate. And I thought we were just friends. And it's also been the other way around, where I was attracted to a woman and they thought it was just coffee. It creates emotional confusion, especially in today's world where it's like, well, we got to be social. I'm like, hey, yeah, you can be, but ask yourself this. What are your motives for going? Are those person's motives the same? And here's an easy way to not even find out. Don't do it. If you're married or in a committed relationship, invites you out of the opposite sex for just a coffee or just something like that, or hey, we should get together. No, thank you. Most people respect that answer. And this is why being honest with that, and if you're honest with yourself, you know it's not a good idea, especially if you've had a history of people, doing this to you, right? Ask, and if you talk to anybody that's been married for more than 5 fucking minutes, they know this is true. There's no reason for that stuff, unless it's like a group setting and you're all friends, fine. But faithfulness gets you down the road, and it's coupled with honesty. If you want to be in a relationship and grow with the person, you got to go through some shit. You have to accept those person's past. They need to be honest about it. You need to be honest about yours. And if you accept each other and you don't hold that against each other, and you have some common values and goals, you'll be fine. After that, it's like a daily thing of communication. Letting people know how you feel about stuff day in, day out, ups and downs. Things are going to happen in life. You can't always have the surface like, I just want to cuddle and watch a movie. Do you want to see me today? Like, that is so shallow of a relationship. Now, if that's all you want, and there's plenty of people on this earth, you can do that forever. You can get to level 1 on a relationship, no problem, especially with today's social media, fucking, the Tinders and the Match.coms and all that shit. Sure, you can meet people all day long. But to grow with somebody over the decades, you only get one opportunity to do that. See what I'm saying? So what's more valuable? Endless cycles of relationships and always meeting new people telling the same shit. Oh my God, you watched Christmas Vacation when you were a kid too. That's so great. Like, nobody's ever done that. Or do you take it past level 1 with honesty and faithfulness and get down and see how deep that relationship could go as the years go on? Right? I find it much more valuable to do the latter. Honesty and faithfulness coupled together equal a very successful relationship. It's not all beauty and all that shit. There is darkness, but through the darkness, you get through that and you become stronger. The bond between you and that other person will be stronger. This is why you see people, old people, and my parents, the neighbors that live behind them, lived there their whole life. My parents are still in the same house. And I knew these people when I grew up. They're wonderful people. They lived in the same house over 40 years, right? My parents knew these guys. They died within a year of each other, right? They died, and then shortly after that, the other one died. And because that was it. It was about them. They made a life together. They did what they can on an individual basis and together, and that was enough. They didn't need these grandiose ideas of, oh, we're going to change the world. And no, they just lived a simple life, and then it was over. It's beautiful. And they went through fucking over 50 years, 60 years together. It was a long, long time. And you can't experience that until you've experienced it. You know what I mean? You can experience new people and that initial rush of dating. When you first date somebody, you're sitting down, getting to know somebody. It's kind of fun. Oh, yeah, you find out the surface stuff. But once you get past level 1, then we start getting into your past, like, oh, my father was fucked up and I had a drinking problem. And it's like, then you start getting through the layers. And then after you get through the bullshit, then you go, well, can this continue? And then something in the relationship happens, and it challenges, is this even worth my time? Is it? I don't know. It's easy to say fuck it and tuck tail and then go find another level 1. You can always be on level 1, folks. But most people don't want to be. And then people bitch about and complain when they see somebody that's so wonderful that they've been together for 40 years. You're not willing to do it because you're not willing to be honest and you're not willing to be faithful. And you have no loyalty, which is the third principle I live by. Loyalty. I'm loyal to friends, family, and anybody in my life that once you have gained my trust, you have it, unless you break my trust. Because I find that having a small group of people that you are loyal to, friends, family, whatever, for years to come, in the long term of life, is so much more beneficial than the person you just met at the thing. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't meet like lifelong friends at different points of your life, but you know, the odds of getting to know people like really, really super well, the older you get, isn't that great. You might get them, you know, I've met people on different levels in my life where they know things about me that people, that I've known for 30 years aren't aware of because I could be honest with those people. But then those people broke my trust, you know, so it's hard. It's hard when your trust gets broken to be vulnerable, accept new people into your life. That's why most people keeping it, I think, into a tight group of people because no matter what, you've already established this rapport. We were young, now we're older. It's like fucking, okay, let's see where it goes. And you've seen these people go through different waves of life, you know, their highs, their lows, and their plateaus, and tragedy and death, and relationships, divorce, and fucking jobs, and money, and houses. You see people go through all these things. I have my friends, half my friends got divorced, and that's a shame. But, you know, I kind of figured that when I asked him, I go, why do you love her? Do you want to get married? Well, you know, it looks good on paper. It's all the wrong reasons to get married. I'm an old school guy who I kind of love this person. I want to see where we can grow together, you know? Call me a romantic. I'm not. I'm just realistic. Such a wrong, it's just terrible reason to do the marriage. But even if you not even get married, just have a long-term relationship, honesty, faithfulness, loyalty. Those will be successful. You know, if you can't be loyal and everybody's like, oh, you know, and cheating and everything, it's not normal to just, you know, if you can be on a person's mind to the point where they're in a situation where they're about to cheat, but they're thinking about you and go, is this worth all the things I've accumulated and established and grown with this person? To just throw it away for a fuck. It's like, they'll think about it. And this is why they won't even open the door to the temptation of let's go get coffee with, you know, the opposite sex, because that is a big no-no. You know, unless it's all together in a group, you know, and even then, the fuck are we talking about? You know, these are just guides that, you know, and from my own experience that I know nobody's on the same page when it's a guy and a woman just going out to coffee. One person is trying to be with the other person and they may not know it. Always. There's always an underlying attraction at some point. Sure, there's the exception of a few people. Like one of my best friends is a woman I've known 20 years, lives in New York. And we've never done anything sexual. We kissed like one time, like 16 years ago. But other than that, no, there was never a physical thing. We're just really like venting friends, like more like brother, sister, kind of like looking out for each other type relationship. It's rare, but it's like the one relationship that I have that I would say like, yeah, there's nothing there. You know, there's no spark. You know what I mean? There's no, this could go the long haul. There never was. I love her, but not in that sense. Whoa. Oh shit. What happened here? Oh, there we go. Fucking camera. Honesty, faithfulness, loyalty. And I always go back to relationships because regardless if it's a romantic relationship or just a general friendship, you got to be honest about stuff, man. You can't lie to people. Because if you lie to people, nobody's going to trust you. And if nobody trusts you, then you got nobody anyway. So you got to be honest. You have to, and to build that with, you know, a partner or just other people in your life, it's hard work. And most people don't want to put in the hard work. But it's hard, but the long term is such a better payoff than that short discomfort of being honest with people. My friend Billy from high school asked me to go to coffee. I'm thinking I'm going to coffee with him. And if you're a man and you go, that's okay, you have just allowed your woman to cheat on you. You have to go, I don't think that's a good idea. Why would you do that? And people get this really confused today with like controlling women. No, it's disrespectful. It opens the door to temptation. It's not good for anybody because old Billy over there probably is trying to get in so-and-so's pants and doesn't give a fuck and respect that relationship anyway. The man probably wouldn't ask her to coffee if he respected the relationship, if he wasn't at least fishing. Because we're men. And this is coming from a man who fished a lot. So I understand. I know when I went fishing, but I was also the guy that if I knew a person was in a relationship, I just didn't even talk to them because I've never wanted to be that guy who would fuck up a relationship. Like if you're in something, because one, if you're in something and you're willing to do something with me, how the fuck am I supposed to trust you until so-and-so come along? You know, this is the shit I dealt with when I was younger. And I learned a lot at an early age of men and women and how we behave. It was great. This is why I talk about it today, because from my own experience, it's pretty obvious what you shouldn't do. And, you know, all this stuff from both ends, men and women. Women just need some leadership and guidance. You have to lead them. And if they have no respect for you, men, they will not follow. This is why they tend to be, you know, where we get confused. Like, do everything the woman wants? No, you do. You want to protect and provide, but you can't just drop everything you're doing for the sake of them at any given moment with their feelings. It's like, no, ladies, you need a group of friends to do that or something because men got to go out there and do their shit. And there's this weird thing to like, that's somehow controlling and manipulative. Like, no, it's not actually. It's I care and I'm trying to protect my woman from predators. Because they're out there, especially if there were predators in the life before, right? That's why if Billy contacts somebody out of nowhere, you're like, let's get coffee. I don't know Billy. I don't trust Billy. There's nothing wrong with being like, let me talk to this person. I don't know who they are. You know, if it's somebody that I know, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. It's company. They're not trying to fuck you, you know? You can open these doors, and this is both sides, men and women. You know, men can be dumb to the fact, but I know most men, in the back of their mind, they're thinking they're trying to get with this woman. Just about every person I've ever gone to coffee with, I thought about, am I able to sleep with this person? Honestly, you know? And there was an inkling to get to know them, but I was attracted to them and I wanted to see where it would go. Now, I wouldn't go out to, it would be disrespectful to my my lady now if somebody was like, hey, you want to go get coffee with just another woman? I wouldn't do it. One, I'm not opening up the door for that person to be emotionally attached to me, nor am I opening up the door for myself to even enter a temptation into my life because I don't want it. I like what I have. I have gone through a lot with my woman in a period of time, and it's created a pretty good bond between the two of us. And for me, I would not want to fuck that up over a lay. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking with this head, not this head. And this is why I'm honest about that. And I think when you're a young dude, you just want to fuck things. You know, when you're young, you don't have principles or morals or any of that shit. You're just, well, I think you might, like I did. It's just that I got jaded. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Because I was told give women what they want and everything will be good. And that was a lie. It's like, no, you protect and you provide. You don't give them everything they want, but you lead them and then you grow a successful partnership with those people. If you want a long-term relationship. Now, if you don't and you want to be single, go have fun. But what I suggest to people is if you're doing something and it's not working out for you, you don't get the right to bitch, moan, and complain about it. You know what I mean? Like you don't get to say like, I love being single, but I'm so lonely. Because you're not willing to do what it takes to have a long-term relationship. And quite the opposite. If you're in a long-term relationship, like I'm so miserable. And I'm like, well, you're probably not being honest. You're probably not communicating. You need to be honest if you're in that relationship. Stop opening up doors to temptation. Then you wonder why you're still getting into trouble. So you got to uncover the stuff about yourself. Honesty with yourself. Excuse me. Slightly under the weather. That's the one thing that I could say as an observational person of people in this world is they want something and then they get it and then they bitch about it. It's like, you don't get a right to bitch about it, you know? If you want to be single and fuck everything that moves, great. But don't go crying when you're 40 and 50 years old and nobody's there to cuddle you and you wish you would have had this and that. You should make some better decisions. So my suggestion is make better decisions today because they will equal better results tomorrow. As tempting as it is for a beautiful woman or for ladies, if a guy's like, hey, you want to go hang out today, watch a movie or something? No. There's no, should I think about it? No. Just say no to that. Especially if you're already in something. Now, if you're fishing and you're trying to find a committed relationship, of course you got to go test the waters. Of course you need to fish. You need to see, if you can grow with somebody. You got to find somebody you can be a companion with, right? Sometimes it's when you least expect it. And it's not because you're looking for it. It's because you gave up looking for it. This shit falls right in your lap. It did me, and here I am. And it's wonderful. And I take it a day at a time, just like I take all my life, is one day at a time through honesty, faithfulness, loyalty. Everything else in this world is very subjective to me. I'll keep my mind open to new ideas and I'll become willing to do new things. But I will always be honest about something because I hold things in contempt prior to investigation. I was suggested a few books by a friend, and it's like Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. And immediately, and then The Obstacle is the Way. And these books are about a fellow who's super successful, millionaire in his 20s. But he was endorsed and talking about John D. Rockefeller and Barack Obama. And just hearing those names and knowing the corruption behind certain people, and it shut my mind off to what I was about to read. So immediately I was questioning. I was like, is this even worth my time? That's what a closed-minded person does. But I let that go and I started reading and try to see what can I gain from this to learn to enhance my own life. But I was honest about how I first interpreted it based on the knowledge that I know about certain things. So it skewed me a bit from reading books. I'm giving them a go. I still don't like it, but I'm being honest about how I feel about it. Because when something stirs that in me, I'm honest about how I feel. Sometimes I'm wrong, but not usually. My instincts are pretty on point today. Like, ladies, this guy keeps calling me. He's trying to fuck you. It's that simple. But he said he just wanted to get some lunch with his penis. It's that simple. So don't be naive. And ladies do this too. Ladies go on the hunt because they know that their weapon of choice is their vagina. And that's all they have to offer. So ladies have to have more to offer than just sex. But they are the gatekeepers to the sex. So once it gets past that point, what do you have to offer? Are you going to be a good person to be in a relationship with? Are you going to grow? It's like, otherwise it isn't worth men's time, especially if they're a good dude who wants like a family and a trusting, loving partnership and companionship. Because if you get that, you can literally be anything. You'll be so strong in life and have a really strong, just a good living than the nonsense stuff. But then, not everybody's that way. I know. I'm saying I've been on all sides of the fences, and I found what works. It causes me the least amount of pain in my life is just being honest about everything. Tell the truth. Faithfulness in a relationship, no matter what, even if the relationship eventually ends, never, ever cheat. It's bad. It fucks with the person you're with. It also creates doubt in your own mind, which makes you harder to trust the next person you're with because you may take pain from that relationship and blast it onto the new person and they had nothing to do with it, but you think they do because you think everybody's the same and they're not. We are human, though. We have good and evil. I believe there's a duality within. We're always battling it, men and women alike. How do you battle through the duality? By being honest. Tell the truth. Don't bullshit people. Anywhere. Work. Home. Public. Tell the truth. You know, I've had people tell me I'm too intense, I'm aggressive, you need to tone it down, Matt. And go, that's what they think. This is how I am. This is how I talk. And I don't sugarcoat it and I don't tone it down for fucking anybody because that's ridiculous. Say what you want to say. Just be honest about it. This is how I interpret things. And I report what I interpret because I have the balls to do it. That's a joke. So people are like, oh, you're so arrogant. Like, whatever. Everybody can talk on the internet these days. Every Joe Schmo, every Nancy Fancy can talk with and have a fucking camera and make an opinion. I just relate stuff that I actually went through, how life was, how it is now, and I let you know. I've had 20 years of dating experience with women, been in a lot of relationships. Women are all the same in the core. They will be, but Western women in America and the Western world, they are told lies. Be a princess, get whatever you want, don't settle. Men, don't be men. You should care about women's needs. And it's so backwards. If you just let women be women, know that they have the upper hand when it comes to being sympathetic, empathetic, and emotional superiority over men. They are. Men can control emotions better than their women. We can get shit done. We are better at doing that. We are better decision makers. We are better leaders. We are leaders. Let men do that. Boys will be boys. Yes. Be honest about that. Stop trying to fuck with nature because you can't. It's like taking an indoor cat. And this is what analogy I've talked about before is like I've realized after owning a cat, for years, the cat would just look outside the window. You want to know why? Because he wanted to be outside doing what he does, which is hunting his prey. He doesn't need a bowl with his fucking name on it, with like little toys and shit. He needs to be outside hunting a bird because that's what he does naturally. Same thing with men and women. Women need to find a man who's a protector and provider. Men want to find a woman that is a suitable mate to procreate with, but also is a yin to the yang in this day and age, meaning they complement each other together to enhance a better union. I believe that today. On my own, I'm fine. I prefer being with a woman. I really do. I want to be in a relationship. I'm better in a relationship than being without because I fucking hate meeting people. And like it starts off great and you're like, oh, this is so nice. And then it's like, by the way, I used to stab myself in the foot with scissors when I was a kid. I've got dad issues. And you're like, Jesus. I don't want to go through that shit anymore with anybody. It's just, I'm done. I'm honest about it. I don't care. Everybody's got issues, men and women, all that. We all do. I just don't want to hear about somebody else's do. I'd rather hear about it, get over it, and as the years go on, deal with life as it comes with the person I'm with. And that's what I'm doing today. And it's fucking wonderful. The long-term benefit is so much more rewarding than the short-term, I want to fuck things and you're not fulfilling my needs. Like get past your surface bullshit and go deeper, folks. Get past level 1. Go. How do you get past level 1? Come on now. Honesty. I don't want to date people anymore. I'm done. I could care less anymore. I like the ups and downs, the loops and turns of the relationship because all relationships, regardless if they're romantic, platonic, they're all complicated on one level or another. But they all take work. If you're not willing to put in the work, shut your fucking mouth. Stop bitch moaning and complaining. I'm 35 and no man likes me. You should really start looking at yourself, honey. Same with the dudes. All women are bitches. No, they're not. They're just women. You have to lead them, men and women. Men aren't going to put up with bullshit anymore. It's that simple. So, I'm a man of principles. if you adopt these principles, and I'm talking more or less to the fellas, honesty, truth, which will also breed integrity for yourself. And when called upon, when you stick to these principles, you'll know how to behave and react and deal with life on life's terms as it comes to you without buckling under pressure. It'll really help. So, how do you practice honesty? Honest about everything. Be honest when somebody asks you a question. That was a good movie, wasn't it? No, it was a piece of shit. It was wasting an hour and a half of my life, and I don't ever want to watch anything like that again, so we're not. But, but compromise. No. No, thank you. Be honest about what you like. Fill your life full of more joy than sorrow. You'll be okay. And I have found it's so much easier today after years of practicing just always being honest with people. Don't care what they think. They can get mad at you. Why did you say that? I can't believe you would stop using that word, Matt. You can't say retarded. Retarded. I just did. And I've met people that are stupider than an actual retarded person that I know who has a YouTube channel, who cooks, and a gaming channel, and he is not offended by that word. So you need to ask yourself, what the fuck is going on in your head that you don't like that word? Because I'm going to say it. So anyway, I'm a little under the weather, so the stream, even though it's no nonsense, I'm a little jokey today and a little bit heated. So if you adhere to a principled life, you probably will have a good life, men. And it starts with the basic, simple rule of honesty, always. And men know this, I think, in their core, because men can't lie. It's not good for men to lie, because then if you're a liar and you're a dude, I mean, this is like an unspoken thing with most men, that if you're untrustworthy, men will call you out on it. Most men will. Not the pussy bitch men, but men are like, yeah, you can take your nonsense elsewhere. We see through your bullshit. So it's good to be honest all the time. It gets you more respect, loyalty, trust. All that stuff comes just by that one principle. If you're going to adhere to any principles, honesty. Don't take yourself too seriously, guys. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.